We're going to do 7 steps to do a mini challenge for him. Now, don't worry, I am going to give you the document. In fact, do you want me to share the link right now? It's not all beautiful. Lamira's going to beautify it. Do you want me to go ahead and share the link right now? Or do you want me to share it after, or just send it to you in an email or a WhatsApp? I'll share it with you in the WhatsApp, and then you don't have to worry about like printing and dealing with it right now. But just know, don't worry about it. Just you'll have that whole copy, and then you can take it from there. All right, so when you're doing a mini challenge, I want to just give you, we're going to do 7 steps to it. And this is purpose, structure, invitation, engagement, giveaways, Q&A, offer, invite, and nurture and review. Do not worry about memorizing them. We're going to take them one at a time. But let me share a couple of things with you about the mini challenge, and then we'll come back to this. First thing, you want to give your audience a mini Costco sample of who you are and what you do and why they should listen to you. And ideally, it gives them a sample of your one big thing. It doesn't make sense to give them a sample of a dinner that you don't cook or that you're not going to sell. So it's a little Costco sample that gives them the opportunity to say, I really like this person and I like how they approach this topic and I love this topic and I love the results that I got with this. So I'm in. If you can establish that relationship of trust, then that's the job of the mini challenge, and you've succeeded. You have engagement. And just like we were saying, Ashley, we have people joining Purpose-Filled Women because of Ashley's success in her 5-day challenge already after just a couple of days. So people are saying she's credible. I love what she's sharing. I love how she's sharing it. So I want to be a part of this. It's to spark interest and teach them skills so that they can see and feel results. They should get inside or outside results. So maybe it's if you're organizing, then you're helping them organize a closet or a room like Angela's going to do in her 5-day challenge. It should be a result they can physically, tangibly see, or that they can feel. You may not be able to share with someone, wow, I got a new vision, and really have it articulated, but you can feel inside, I've shifted. I know that I'm different than what I was before. So those are both really important. You lead them to the value offer, the thing that's going to get the bigger, deeper results. And then you want it to be fun and engaging. So you may have a lot of content, but watch out for doing lectern and pulpit pounding unintentionally. So try in your posts and things and in the way you approach it to not be like, just give them straight content, shove it down their throat, make it fun, make it engaging, ask questions, thought-provoking questions, make it so that it's like you're chatting with a friend at lunch and it's fun and you're throwing in stories and ideas and then laugh and blah. So make it fun and engaging, because that's what draws people back is, wow, that was fun and engaging. So I want to be fun and engaged. Make sure it's organized, it's simple, and it's doable. If it's too complex for you to remember what you're doing on your 5-day challenge, it's going to be too complex for them to remember. So you should be able to know on your 5 days what you're doing on your 5 days, what you're actually accomplishing on those. Doesn't mean you have it memorized it every single day, but it just means you know what you're doing, and then they will know what they're doing as well. And then it should be a celebration of growth. So we're going to talk about giveaways and prizes and things like that. It should be just the celebration of you are actually putting time and energy into something that really matters. So good on you, right? You want to celebrate and get those endorphins going and saying, you know what? Self-development can be fun. It really is fun. And then last, of course, but probably the most important reason is build your community. You want to build that community with this 5-day challenge. And that's what we have found. Just even with our last 5-day challenge that we just did the week before, we had more and more people come in, and Teresa could probably speak more to that, but I was so surprised every time, because these videos, you guys, do not be stressed about it being perfect. My videos are back when I started them, like, what, that was 2-3 years ago that I did those. And one of them I had to re-record because I was sitting in a parking lot and I had my cell phone up like this and the sun was going on my cell phone. So right at the crux of the moment, my cell phone shut down because it overheated. I'm on a line, but people, that was like, I don't do that. Anyway, I had to just re-record that one. But these are old videos. The content is still great. It still gets results. It's still rock. So those are just some initial things, some core purposes to remember. And then we're going to go through these really quickly. Okay. You're going to have to like do something in the chat if you have a question, because I can only see 3 people or 4 people. Jerusha, can you give me a heads up if somebody's like doing a chat thing and I'm not seeing it? Thanks, babe. All right. First, number 1 is purpose. How does it relate to your one big thing or your one big message? What are the specific outcomes and what's their next step? So Angela or Ashley, do you guys want to speak to this of when you designed your 5-day challenge? How did you make sure it related back to your one big message and then your one big thing, wherever level that one big thing is? If it isn't your ultimate one big thing, it was like your value offer or the next big thing. But how did you get it so it could, how did you figure out how to relate it back to your one big thing or one big message? Anyone want to speak on that?
I will. My one big message is all about teaching women how to put the first things first, but still go after their goals. And so I just thought, I think there's a lot of women out there who feel stressed about the new year, and the goal setting is like, keeps them just weighed down in a way. So I thought, okay, what do I want to have happen at the end of this 5-day challenge? And I thought I want them to have a solid goal. And I want to give them tips beforehand that will get them to that point and give them time to brainstorm, give them time to really think about their goals. Because I think a lot of the women that were doing the challenge, might not have a business, or they might not have something they're going after. But I thought at the end of the week, I want them to have really thought about their life, where they want the year to go, and then set that solid goal. So I think it was helpful to think, where do I want them to be at the end of the 5-day challenge, and what is that specific outcome? And that obviously relates back to my one big message, because I'm teaching them how to move forward, in their goals, but still putting their family first. So I think it's helpful to think, where do I want them to be at the end of the 5-day challenge,
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I love that you did take it that further step too, which is, okay, I help people set successful goals that get results in a balanced personal professional way, right? Being able to balance both. So I love that you are, even that success after 5 days will still relate to your ultimate one big thing. And it's giving them the stepping stone, that Costco sample. Angela, did you have anything you wanted to share on this one?
Yeah, I was just going to say, as I was talking about in each little video, mine is just little video segments of, we're working on one room, and there's some specific things for them to look for at each time, so that when they're finished, the whole point is they will have created a more beautiful, comfortable space with the things we talked about each day. And then it leads them into, if you would like to do this with all the different rooms within your house and have more steps to help you know what to do, there's an online course that will be a resource for you as you go forward, if that's something that feels like it made a difference for you.
I love it. And those specific outcomes, they're feeling the results of that. They're seeing the results of that. So now they've tested it, that Alma, expanded upon the word, and they're like, okay, I can trust this. I'm going to move forward on this. So I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Any questions, put them in the chat. We're going to keep going, but please feel free. Okay, well, I'm scooching it. Why isn't it scooching? Well, there we go. Oop, yeah. Okay, structure. Decide for yourself, what's the number of days you want to do your challenge? 5 days, 7 day, 10 day, 30 day, 21 day. It depends on what you're doing and what results you want for your people. That will probably determine the number day challenge. We have found the best success with the 5 or 7 day challenge. 10 days are good too, but people kind of start to drop off. The thing about a 7 day that's kind of nice is that you give them a buffer, so that, life gets crazy and you miss a day or whatever. Make sure you don't, make them feel bad, and try to do things that I would encourage, that you say on day 2, hey, if you didn't get to yesterday, it's okay. You can just go ahead and do it today, and you can combine the ones today. It's not a problem. Keep assuring them that if they missed one day, it doesn't mean that the end is it's all done. It's all over. They need to know that they can keep building on it. So set it up that way that it's not, if they miss day 1, that they can't catch up. Then that won't be helpful and that won't be successful, because it's not realistic. The number of value tips you want to give, decide how many. Are you going to give 5 tips, or are you going to give 1 main tip and then 5 ways to make that happen? Or are you going to give, say, a tip, and then the next day is going to be a testimonial or showing how that worked, and then the next day you're going to do a tip, and then the next day you're going to do a little thing of, look what someone did, and we're going to spotlight them. You get to decide what that looks like. There's a numerous way of doing challenges, as far as my understanding. So find what feels good, like Yoga with Adrienne talks about. Find what feels good for you, and find what's sustainable. And then the last thing is the call to action. Find the download that you're going to give them that will give them that structure, that thing. And I'm not going to take, I was going to stop and share screen, but if you want to see our 5-day challenge workbook, we can send you the link. And if you want to know about it, I'll ask Lamar if she wants to put that in. I'll put that down. Because we did a workbook, and it's great if you can add in a download that's a 1-page or a workbook, that if you have a 5-day, they have a little bit that they can do each day. Don't make it intense, don't make it complex, just give them a little something to do. But people love downloading a workbook. They love to download a free something that they can touch, they can hold, or that they can watch, something that's exclusive. So think about what your call to action is, and then the download that can help them do that. Angela's thing is she wants to teach them tools so they apply it to other rooms in their house. How beautiful is that? So having those downloads and being able to say, okay, in this room, this is the tip that I'm going to work on, or here's the things that I'm going to learn and I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to apply it, is going to have more staying power than just having them jump on and share some thoughts, or her share some thoughts, if that makes sense. Any thoughts on that really quick, Angela or Ashley? Any thoughts on the download or the call to action?
Lamira was talking to me about when I do my little video on Member Vault, then there's a little lesson area where you can actually type out your text of what it is that you're talking about. So it's there. And then when they finish the whole thing, they could have the whole download that gives them all 5 of them, or maybe, so it's something they have at the end also. So it's something they can have visually just on the screen, but then they can have a PDF that they print out that just gives them, this is the steps.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ashley?
I love that too. I had on my PDF and my download, I had each individual day that they could follow right along with it. So it kept them nice and organized, because I love the nice organized structure. I love to check my boxes every day. So for me, that was how I wanted to structure it, is every day they know exactly what they're to do and what they're to write. And I had those all listed in the download, and I had like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So it kept them really organized and nice and flowing. And then if they did miss a day, they could always go back and refer to the download if they needed to. And it would help with the assurance. Like, don't worry about it. It's in your download. You can go back and redo day 1 on that.
Beautiful. And I love both of those. And we have found with the 5-day challenge, it's so much easier when women had questions last week on it. I'm really stuck on day 2. I'm having it, then we knew exactly what day 2 was. Now, well, on that one page when it talks about, so it made it easy to move forward. Love it. Any questions, put them in the chat. Am I missing any questions? Let me see. Oh, you're so beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, thank you. This is awesome. She has trained you well, Padawan learner. Okay, invitation. On your invitation, an opt-in, you want to make sure you got some kind of an opt-in, so you have name and email. You put a lot of work into this challenge. You want to make sure that it's a win-win. It's a value exchange. If you're going to be putting energy out, they need to be putting energy in too. So that's the energy exchange. And it gets that commitment of, I'm in, and I'm going to go with you. Because you don't want people just bouncing. You want them to be able to be like, okay, let's do this. And then emails. What follow-up emails do you have? What emails are you sending out when they first are before the challenge? And what emails will they get during the challenge? And what will they get after? It's really good idea to not put your signature content on your social media. Make it so that it's exclusive in the emails. So on your social media post, you can say, did you check your email yesterday for day 2? Go ahead and check it out. It's great stuff. And just look for Ashley Stratton, blah, blah, blah. So that you give them the heads up and you direct them to that. So if someone's reading it, they're like, oh man, I didn't know there was a day 2 thing. Wait, where am I going to get it? So they sign up for the thing, and then they go to the email and they get that signature content. And then the last thing is the social media posts, reels, whatever it is that you want to do on there. Decide how you want to go about your social media. What's the build up to it? What posts are you going to do during that week? And then what are the ones you're going to do as a follow-up? And I so encourage you, get them excited. This should make them, we have right on here on this sheet, and just know that you'll have it. We've got a way to prepare 2 weeks before. We've got then the 1 week before, and then how to offer the link to your registration and generate excitement. So don't worry about it. We've got that on there. But be thinking in your mind's eye, like, what would you want to see to get you excited about something that we're inviting you to join as a challenge? What would make you feel ready to do this? I'm so excited for Angela's challenge. I'm so excited to be doing Ashley's challenge. I just think it's fantastic. And you're getting a little snippet, a little boost to do a little 1% change, and you know that that's going to bless your life, and you can be able to build on that. So put those kinds of things in the posts. One of the things, let me see, let me go through this 2 slides really quickly, but it will be in that document. So worry not, you don't have to write them down. But different things that you can do for posts are outcomes, the ideal life. This is what you're going to become. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to experience in this 5-day challenge, and keep emphasizing that. I personally love to talk about the positive and what's going to happen when you do these things. Then you can also talk about the pain points. Are you done with that messy room? Are you so ready to have your own space to create? Then join me. I'm going to teach you tips and tools on how to do that, and do it with one room at a time, right? It's just so appealing. Exceptional experience. Why is this going to be worth their time? What will make it an exceptional experience? It can be your credibility. It can be the fun way you approach it. It can be the way you've set it up. It's so organized. It's so, failure free kind of a thing. What is the exceptional experience they're going to get from you? And the unique approach. Is it that you make something faster, easier, happier? How are you different from other people doing these kinds of challenges? What makes it more unique? And don't feel like you have to go crazy. Cheryl Milton and I were just talking about this because she's going to speak to us next week. And she was like, Dan Thurman was the former past president for NSA, for National Speaking Association. He's incredible. Has anybody seen him? I can't see everybody, but probably Lindsay has. But anyway, he's amazing. He's a former gymnast, and he's 55 or something. And he gets on the stage. The pulpit is almost as high as he is. The lectern is almost as high as he is. And he goes like this, and he goes into a full handstand on the podium. I'm not kidding. He gets on a unicycle and he juggles knives and stuff like that. And Cheryl's like, the first time I saw that, I was like, not happening. I can't do anything like that. That is not what you need to produce in a 5-day challenge. You don't need to make it bells and whistles, but you do need to make it uniquely you. You need to make it something that is wonderfully you. Ashley's is clean and it's fun and colors and organized. Angela's is going to be beautiful and it's aesthetic, and make it uniquely you so they get that Costco sample of what you're going to give them more of. And then giveaways. What can you do? What kind of bonuses that they're going to get from doing this? We'll talk more about that in just a second. Expert help and know-how. You can emphasize that you're going to give them things that they don't know how to do, or simple things that they may not have known, and you're going to be able to apply it in better ways. Connection. We're going to do this together, people. You're going to get support on doing this. Have you wanted to organize your room, but you just don't know how? I'm going to do it with you. We're going to do this together. Make it fun. And like we just talked about it, make it a joy. And then abundance. I've got tons of good stuff, good content, good things to share with you. And then convenience. I'm going to make it simple for you. So these are all good post points that you can emphasize in your challenge. And again, it's going to be on the document, so worry not. Then the invitation on the challenge. How are you going to continue to invite people to your challenge? You'll start on day 1, but you'll have people who will keep coming in during the week. And like I said, set it up so that you can keep having people come in. But how are you going to keep inviting to the challenge? Jerusha does a beautiful job of this on our social media. She'll put a quote that has to do with the purpose challenge. And then she'll say, there's still time. You can come and sign up. There's still time, and assuring them they haven't missed the boat. How often are you going to engage? How often are you going to engage with them personally? Yes, you have your posts, but are you going to comment on the comments? Are you going to go in and do something organic on IG stories? How often are you going to engage? And the word on that is often, as often as you can. Make sure you are engaging that whole week and keeping the energy up. Now, it doesn't mean you have to, go and do a cheer every 2 seconds. It just means keep them following back to those post topics, the outcomes, the things they're going to learn, how it's going to bless them and their families' lives. Keep emphasizing those things. It's like running a marathon, and you need those people at the little checkpoints with the water and the you got this, you can keep going, you can keep going. So provide that for your people in the challenge so they can keep going. Okay. And then how do you want to help them engage with each other? Help them get talking to each other if that's possible, so they can start creating relationships. Angela and Ashley, do you want to weigh in on this?
I just had a quick question about this. This is where I'm not really clear. So if we're sending them the emails and it's in the email that they get the content, then how is it that we have interaction with them? How do we have interaction as a group?
You can do any kind of interaction that works for the way that you're posting. So for example, say you've sent them an email saying, here's the 3 tips to do your living room. I don't know, I'm just giving a suggestion. And the next day you go, oh my gosh, we have had so many great responses from, the living room thing. Say somebody came out, you said, or maybe you go on and you go, did you get the email from yesterday? What did you learn from the 3 tips? And did you apply them? And blah, blah, blah. So people below, you want them to comment. So if they start commenting, then comment back.
So on your social media, you're making comments about the people that have joined and what they're doing and how it's going.
Yes.
And then they can comment there, and then other people can be like, I want to be part of this. And then here's the button you push to get to the be part of it.
Exactly. And if people are
So
like,
the interaction is going on through your social media.
exactly, every day you want to try to get them commenting. So posting a thought-provoking question, doing a question of what did you learn yesterday? Did anybody use the tip that I used? What was your favorite tip from yesterday? Don't be afraid that people are going to put your content in the comments, but you just don't want to like plop it there. You want to encourage them to do some work to get the exclusive content because it's an energy exchange, right? But
Is it way better to do that just on one social media? Choose just one to do that on?
I would do one main social media that you want to play in, but there's a primary and secondary. So you can choose, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, kind of, you know, so I don't have a problem with playing on both, but just what you have the energy for, choose your primary so that they know they can count on you consistently on that one. But the secondary should be pretty slick as well with the IG and the Facebook being so close. Ashley, did you want to weigh in anything? Great question.
I've loved everything you've said. I think just commenting back to people, obviously checking your messages and staying on top of your messages during the week, you know, and making sure you're answering the DMs. And I think too, I know that we've invited people to go to the Purpose-Filled Women group to get extra help. So if you have a place where you want to send them or a group you want them to be a part of on Facebook, that's a free group, just making that known during the challenge and inviting them to those places.
Love it. Fantastic. Awesome. Anything else? Anybody else? Let's try to see if I can do this.
I wanted to add one thing on the last slide that you were talking about.
Yes.
I love to speak and I know the importance of stories and using those. And when I had gone through and prepared my 5-day challenge, Connie had to remind me, don't be afraid to share a story. And I'm like palm to the forehead, you know, I'm like, of course, storytelling, that's so important, you know, sharing that. And that could be one of your days is sharing your story, your journey, and they can relate to the pain points or sharing a story of someone else who's gone through that and had success or whatever, you know. So I added in a story for that. But for a minute I had a brain fart and I realized for that I got to put a story in there, and I was trying to do more of the teach, but it creates that softer connection when you can add stories in there. So don't forget your stories.
I love that. And that is a great point. I would even encourage you to start with the story. Sometimes we want to start right in with the tip, or we want to start right in with the whatever. Even if you're saying, hey, did you get your tips in the email from yesterday? Start with the story or someone who's had the experience. So-and-so applied it, and this is what she experienced. People love to hear the stories. Beautiful comment. Thank you so much. Okay, so giveaways at the end of the week, you want to tease those at the beginning and even before to have people want to sign up. I know Heather B. Moore, the author, is genius at this. She always gives away a free Kindle. She gives away Amazon gift cards, like $50 gift cards, and people know it. They love it. So they come and they sign up for her stuff so they can get in for that giveaway. So you can do a grand one and a small one. I like doing a little small one, like a sort of participation award for everybody that makes the time and energy to do something like this, then give them a little something. And that's what we did on our 5-day purpose challenge. And then at the end of the week, they got a what's next ebook. And then at the end of the week, we did a bigger grand giveaway. And you can choose what size. If you want to give them a master class, if you want to give them a personal consulting session. I mean, for Angela, that's what we talked about would be huge, is whoever participates in the challenge gets in the giveaway to be able to have a 90-minute consult with her or something like that. And then you can even take it a step further and say, those that have engaged the most get an extra additional entry into that. Yeah, it takes a little more work to figure out how many times people have commented, but it helps the commenting and the algorithms as well for people to feel like it's credible. And then they bring in other people. And it's just a really great way to go about it. And on the giveaways, I would encourage you to ask, are they meaningful? Are they useful? And softly tease your giveaways. It's not something you have to be like bells and whistles and lights going off and things like that. You can just be able to share, hey, this is going to be so helpful for you, and make it that it connects with what you're doing. Our 5-day purpose challenge, the workbook that we do, or the giveaway, like the giveaway that we did, the ebook, it's how to create your 3-step life plan. So it makes sense. Once they've done their purpose statement, now they can read the book of how to take that purpose statement and create a life plan in 3 steps. So it's a natural fit. They would want that giveaway because it makes sense. I mean, Amazon is always a good thing. Food gift certificates are always a good thing. But if you can make it meaningful, that's a really great thing. And then the last day Q&A, you don't have to do this, but we have found that it's a really great thing. It's kind of a 2 for 3 for, we do a last day Q&A for half an hour. We usually do 40 minutes or so. And what ends up happening is I get to hear from the women's experiences, which like this last time, it was gorgeous. The women were sharing exactly the things and the results that we wanted to hear. And we can use that. And then I was sharing tips and tools, and then Arusha can go back, edit that, and we can use that. So it's giving us content as well as giving them extra bonus. And then it's a natural segue for us to be able to do the giveaway and be able to say, hey, here's what the giveaway is, and here's the invite for the next, the offer. So that last thing on the offer, you want to give them an offer to the thing that you want them to do, the online course or whatever it is that you're asking them to invite them to. And then I'm just kind of scooching because I know we're close on time. The last step is nurturing review. Send them a follow-up email, send them a thank you so much for taking time out. And I so invite you, when you do the wording, make it you. I used to make everything so clinical and so professional. Make it your voice. Thanks so much. This was wonderful. We had a great time. I couldn't believe the things that women were able to accomplish, just like you would in your conversation. Your credibility will help you keep professional. Now, you don't want to be like annoying, but you know what I'm saying? Keep a softer tone so it's not this pseudo professional kind of a clipped thing. And if you want, send a survey. Ask them about their experience. Ask them what results they actually got. Ask what they want for their next step. It's a simple Google survey. They're easy to make, easy to send. You can even post them on your social media. They can access it there. You could put it in the email, but it's great gold for you to be able to know how to improve your 5-day challenge or whatever challenge you do for the next time. So mine that information, because they'll be ready when it's right there and fresh at the end of the thing. They'll give you that information if you do it quickly. All right, those are the 7 steps to doing a mini challenge. Are we feeling completely overwhelmed now? Woo! And just know we will, oh, go ahead.
Quick question. How often would you do a 5-day challenge?
That's a great question. I think it depends on what the results are that you get from it. I know we like to do them quarterly but we do it at seasonal times that make sense for us. So January is a good time for change for women. September is a good time for change. Darusha, do you have anything you want to weigh in on that?
Just what you said. It's really seasonal. In January, everybody's ready for a restart and a reset. And something I was going to add earlier, we want people to know that we're just as invested as they are. And so even though our grand prize is over and the 5-day Find Your Purpose Challenge is over technically, we are still having women join and finish because we let them know they can still have the small prize that everybody gets for finishing. And it's important to us that they finish. So we are still technically doing that while we are going into Ashley's challenge also. This is technically our 3rd challenge in less than 2 months.
So usually we don't do that many, but we definitely wanted to support Ashley in that goal setting challenge. And it's a beautiful time of year to do it. But I love that. Thanks, Drusha, for bringing that up. You really want to help them know and feel we love you and we're going to support you in this. So I want you to consider right now. I know some of you are like, I don't even think I'm doing a 5-day challenge. This doesn't really apply to me. Anna, this is a huge piece of the puzzle to increase your reach. People ask all the time, well, how can I get more people to be in my community? How can I increase my reach? This is a great way to increase your reach. So for just a minute, I want you to consider what is a way that you could use a challenge, whatever number of day challenge, to help people be more invited into your community, to increase the reach of your community by giving them a Costco sample of who you are and what you do. Any thoughts from people, or if anybody needs some help in brainstorming that for just a minute, how a 5-day challenge could help you in your genre? Carrie.
Yeah, I help because I have no idea.
So she is focused on the Miracle Journal, right? And that's what she's working on getting published right now. And that's a huge piece. So if you wanted to lead them to purchasing the journal kind of a thing, then what could be a good 5-day challenge is helping them look for the miracles, right? So maybe you have a prompt each day that helps them look for the miracles because you want them to get in that habit of doing it. So when they get done, they're like, I missed that. I want that. So maybe it's that you're going to teach them a tip or a tool each day of how to look for the Lord's hand, or how to record it, or how to share it on social media and do a quote from Elder Bednar that says, hey, we need to sweep the earth, like a flood with good things. So important that you look and say, how can I get them to practice doing what I'm doing? Does that help at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Wendy Jones, I love how you said, not sure how to apply this to nonprofit. Anybody else have thoughts? Please don't think I'm standing here like the I Ching. But I love that. A fundraising challenge with some kind of a prize. I love that idea. I think even a 5-day challenge of What is one way, like they could look around in their community and say, what is a need in your community that you can see? They can
Or a
even
need for
submit-
your retreat. Like if you say, we really want to buy this dresser or this bed because it's a bed that raises up and goes down for someone who's handicapped, we're doing a 5-day challenge to fundraise to buy this bed for this family, you know? Like I think it should benefit the family that you're trying to do at your retreat. I think that could be awesome.
Oh, I got goosebumps. Love it. Jerusha, Ashley, absolutely genius. I love it. I don't know, Wendy, how does that feel? But what content? Oh my goodness. The content of the things you've already done, the changes that you guys have enacted in people's lives. And then those kind of tips of a little bit goes a long way. Sharon Eubank talks, read her talks. She's always talking about tips on how to do that, right? So making a difference daily in your life, your family, your community, whatever your way. I feel like RC Willie. But something like that where you're having content tips of how they can do great good in small ways. That's another way that you could go about it, and they can actually start to see the difference. Or maybe you can challenge them on the 5-day challenge in those small ways that they can go to someone else in the community and they can do some kind of like ask for a sponsorship, or they can do something that will help, or they will say, wow, at my school, we're looking for a way to do some fundraiser this year. Or maybe we're looking for where, you know, the good person or thing is that we want to put the funds to. We can put that to Wendy's, and maybe you do a 5-day challenge of find the person. Or
maybe a giveaway could be a discount to the retreat or a ticket to the retreat if you had the space. I know you don't this time, but in the future, I don't know. Or for the biggest donation, they get a free something, or I don't know. I was thinking about that for the giveaway.
I love Jerusha.
I love Lindsay's comment about a service challenge.
Ooh, love. I didn't see that. I'm missing so much, I'm sure. Sorry.
I guess I'm just confused on, like, you have all of these things like invitations and opt-ins. I could do a challenge, like it challenge people to go out and do service in their community. I guess I'm just not seeing, I don't have enough content to be able to do that. And I don't know that I want to do that. It's like zapping my energy just to do a retreat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know that I have a 5-day challenge in me. So I'm just not seeing
and
how I can have
okay.
enough content.
I know you, and someone's going to pop up in your life that's going to say, hey, if you wanted to do a 5-day challenge, I'd love to take that off your plate. Yeah, that's what will happen. But it is something like, kind of remember how you felt about Instagram or how you felt about all these like yuck pieces, and just put that maybe on a simmer thing, because this is a really great way to keep burgeoning your community, and it makes them feel involved. They want to feel the joy of what you're doing and to have some kind of, but maybe they can't come to a retreat, or that's 20 women at a time, right? This is a bigger way to involve people in their own communities with broader content that they can apply right then and then share in the group and say, oh my gosh, it's working here. And this is what we did. So I think that's more of that seed bed of those kinds of things, more than this becomes like a huge headache for you to fill your retreat, is my thinking. But awesome. These are great comments. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. We're going to take this module, we'll put it into Member Vault. So when you're at that time, when you are ready for a 5-day challenge, then you can do that. Did I miss any comments on the side that you were like, okay, you really needed to share this? I love you can post photos to keep people motivated along the challenge. Absolutely. Before and afters, and comments from people, testimonials. Keep reposting those. Oh, so-and-so said yesterday that they loved using this piece, and make sure that you put that in something so that people can see that again in your post content. It's just great. Don't feel overwhelmed with this. Keep it as simple as you desire. People do not need it to be complex for it to be successful. So keep it simple, enjoyable, and doable, and they will love it. Okay. I picture content just as a group Zoom to chat about it. Love it. And that's like the last day Q&A. We just invite them to a Zoom, and then we use the content that we do after. Easy, one-time energy, leveraged. It's gorgeous.